Before I continue with my message, thank you, Sister Avanti, $10 coming on the Cash App. Thank you, sister. Next time, make it 20, but thank you for that 10. I know you barely had that. Thank you, sister.
Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back. Beloved, this is indeed your brother Big VJ checking in. Today's conversation, we're going to have some grown folks talk. We're going to keep everything on man time. Brother Umar, his trending situation is on the table. So, beloved, we're going to have a conversation about that. And we want to begin by saying this, right? You know, we're not here to kick our brother back in. He's trending for all the wrong things, and we get it. But we're not going to kick our own brothers back in. On this platform, we love Big Titty Umar, right? We know he got some scamming the school shit going on, and we get it. Yet, publicly, Umar Johnson, he never turned his back on his people ever. Anytime he's on the platform and he can speak on our behalf, he can always go left and start some Uncle Ruckus kind of shit, some Uncle Huckabuck kind of shit. He just don't do it. He defend our people at every single turn. So even though he do some flaky shit, he's still our brother. And again, we not gonna kick our brother back in. Now we gonna have a conversation about being a man and staying on man time, and about really, you know, if you kind of do things right. Big Mama used to say this: if you do right, right will follow. You got to clean up your house if you want shit to kind of go your way in this world. You can't have funny style relationship with your children and your siblings and all this and all that. Your nephew and them coming out on everybody coming out on you, and you think things gonna work out right in your favor. Get your household together first. Get your whole household together first. Everybody ain't lying on you, brother. Stop. Take a minute. Take a second. Everybody's not lying on you. God damn, how many more motherfuckers got to come out on you? Your daddy came out on you. Your daughter come out. Your nephew come out. Bros that you dealt with come out. God damn, bro. That shit just ain't well dig. Your private life is bubbling to such an extent, it's spilling over to your public life. Now dig, your public life, when you sit on the platforms, a lot of stuff that Umar say is right and exact. You know, he is right and exact about a lot of that. And he's in a system where there's a wind that's blowing to tear the black man down. You can't be fanning that wind yourself with your activity. That shit, beloved, it's not going to work. So we're going to have a conversation about that today. Right? Very, very long intro. But beloved, we're going to have a conversation about that today, because it's like the third sister that came out on our brother. And it's something about Tasha K. Right? Tasha K has a direct pipeline to women that's been scarred goddamn by Umar. It's like going all the way back to the conscious stripper. Who could remember the conscious stripper situation? I'm trying to think, was a sister from Philadelphia or was she from Atlanta or something? I don't know if she made it to the Tasha K show, but these last two, they have been there, right? Now, about that, I want to say this. You know, Umar has presented himself as an educator, right? He's not an imam. He's not a bishop. He's not a pastor. He's not an evangelist. He has presented himself to our village as an educator. Unfortunately, in the hills of North America, the territory that we call the United States, this over sexualized kind of like behavior, it's common in the field of education. It is. Teachers mess around with teachers, counselors mess around with counselors, and the principals are fucking everybody. They fucking the counselors, they fucking the teachers, and then if you're not careful, you know, because it's a lack of discipline, you see a lot of teachers get fired and go to jail because they've been running around with the students. So, beloved, I got family members that's from that world. And every time there's some workshop, there's some type of communication that they have outside the city, or some type of get together of teachers, this, that, or the third, there's always somebody trying to hook up, because that's just the world of education in America, right? So I can understand that brother doing that. You dig? What make me not understand it is that he's 50. Okay, when you going to grow out of that shit? Why is a 50-year-old man, he's making a live, right? And I noticed about Umar, he has to be on the platform to keep him focused with a host. It's right and exact when he's speaking. When he got that, he's going live with a goddamn phone in his hand. He laying all in the grass. He's making all these sexual statements about this, that, and the third, weird shit. A woman out him, he come back and talk about how she sucked the Shango stick. Bro, what are you doing? You're 50 years old. You're 50 years old. You gotta be able to take responsibility as a man. Everything with this nigga is somebody else's fault. He's just like Trump. And if we haven't learned anything about Donald Trump, we learned this. He has loyalists that follow him. And I like Trump. He's one of the crackers I like. His support system is rock solid. You know, I don't care if he went bankruptcy 30 more times. I don't care if he beat people out of some money. I don't care if he got 4 more tapes about him grabbing some pussy come out. I don't care if he drop another fake ass school and all this old kind of shit. Doesn't matter. They gonna rock with that's they people. We gotta show that same loyalty with our own. Now, Umar's situation is a tricky one because he been getting money for a school. There is no school. We kind of knew there was never going to be a school. I don't even know why people is fucking with him. It's kind of like a scam, but it's not a scam, but it is a scam, but it's not, because we know he's not going to build a school. I have no issue with nobody holding his feet to the fire about their donations. Not about that. My issue comes where, okay, here's a black man fucking up money, mismanaging money. It ain't no school 15 years later. Okay. But, beloved, you've been given to your city taxes, your state taxes, and your federal taxes all your life since you've been working. And I don't see you as a community coming out holding these mayors' feet to the fire with these raggedy ass cities. Baltimore's raggedy, Detroit fucked up, Chicago fucked up, you know, Memphis is fucked up, St. Louis, for all these cities is fucked up. And nobody's coming out holding these politicians' feet to the fire, and you paying them 3 times over. And then the man that fixing your roads don't look nothing like you. You don't say shit about that. You're not running down to the town hall meetings, part of me, and you got them kicking dust up. But you ain't saying, man, y'all got my money and this, that, and the third. You ain't saying shit. You don't even carry your ass down there. Now here you go, a black man fuck up some money. Because he been getting money for 15 years in Delaware, and that money fucked up. You got so much to say to him, but then the state DOT, who's put in place to manage and oversee and maintain transportation infrastructure and keep the roads and highways and bridges and all that shit going, and then you see it's always contractors fixing on them highways and them bridges and them roads with your tax dollars, and they don't look like you ever. You don't say nothing about that though. So you got to keep it consistent. It's cool. You want to bitch about that money. He been getting that bread for 15 years. He gonna build a school in Delaware. Come on, man. Y'all know. Can I switch gears and say something? Not trying to be disrespectful. 15 years of getting money, right? There was a cracker, Benjamin Franklin. He got a saying: if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail, right? We used to hold that sign back in the day. They used to sell that quote, put that shit everywhere, right? You look at our brother Umar, right? Look at Big Titty. 15 years of raising money. There's no board of directors, no accountants, no bookkeepers, no financial advisors, no trustees, no employees of any sort. He ain't got no online classes. He ain't got none of that shit 15 years later. Think about it. No enrolled students, no faculty, no staff. Then you get a school up. Now you got to play politics. You got to get accreditation. You got to get licensing. You got to pretty much go and kiss ass to them crackers that's running Delaware Department of Education. So I'm like, you got the money aspect, then he got to kiss some ass. Then that shit just like, come on, bro. That's not going to really work. Nah. The bright side is this. There's an African proverb that say if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. So Umar's been running this race by himself, right? But think about it. When you run alone, you can run faster. 15 years later, I mean, still nothing there. In Delaware? We talking Wilmington, Delaware. Think about the planning in that. Who was really looking for this dude? Not Atlanta, not Philly where he's from. He could have came to Detroit and bought one of these schools for dirt cheap. No, he's going to put a school in Wilmington, Delaware. And that is not, technically, I can make an argument, that's not even a black city. Man, it's kind of like a little ass city on top of that. It's only like 40,000 people. It's only like, it's not no real, we talking original population. It's only 50% of the city. So we're going to put a school there for black boys to do what? Not trying to be facetious, right? If you just take the average American, I ain't going to even say black American. If you take the average American that's from the Midwest, like myself, or from the South, or from the West Coast, and you give them a map, and you say, point to Delaware, point to Delaware on the map. You think they know where Delaware is at on the map? I'm talking about any American, black American, crackers, Jaimes, Guineas, mix, anybody. You just, hey, where's Delaware? Point to Delaware on the map. Man, they don't know. Nobody is saying, and this is no disrespect to anybody that may be listening from Delaware, but I'm like, nobody is saying, so goes Wilmington, so goes the world. Like, nobody is saying that. Bro, you serious? You gonna build a school that you're not even from Philly, nigga? How did you even? So it's like, in my estimate, he can salvage this situation. But if your household ain't in order, it's not gonna work. My G, your pops is online. He was talking shit about you, bro. You his son. Your pops got 11 kids. 11. So he's king tender dick. So we understand why you're junior tender dick. We get it. You got 9. It's 9 of y'all. Siblings, children by your pops and your mom. You only got 2 outside. Your pops got 2 outside kids. So you got a big family, bro. When you start having family members flip on you, your pops flip on you. Your nephew flip. Your daughter, your oldest daughter, she flip. Maybe it's you, bro. You gotta come down off the high horse. Nothing you touch is gonna work because, man, look, your shit ain't even right. Then you fucking with women. It go left. Then you start making all these, man, she was sucking the Shango stick. To me, beloved, I'm okay with the 85%. They deaf, dumb, and blind. I get it. I cannot see a conscious person, a person that represents himself having a level of knowledge, allowing a black woman to suck his dick. It would never make sense to me. When you look at the animal kingdom, only the monkeys is doing that. Why would you be doing the sexual activity that the monkeys do? You a human being. If you believe that there's a Most High God, I'm gonna go with you on that. Which mean that the first man was the Most High man, because the Most High God made the first man in his image, which is the Most High man. This is what we say original man, the black man, the first man, the Most High man. Why would the Most High man be look, just think about the concept. But these niggas love being disagreeable though. Why would you be having sexual activity that mirrors what monkeys do? The thing about a human being is that when we engage in sex, we can face our partners. We connect with our partners. You know, have you noticed the animal kingdom, they can't do that? The animals don't do that. The animals face away when they're having sex. Animals face away from each other. They don't look at each other. They face away from each other. You know what I mean? The human being is not like so. You have a freedom to connect with your spouse in such a way. It's purity in it. What is the purity in putting pre-cum? Because if shorty sucking your dick, it's the pre-cum before the Big Bang, right? She's sucking pre-cum. This DNA bacteria is in the mouth. It belongs in her womb, but it's in the mouth, the gums, the tongue. Because you gotta understand, it's part of blood. You just can't blood it get into the pores. So it ain't no washing nothing out. You nutting in your wife's mouth. Do y'all niggas jump back and kiss these women after that? Or do you say, no, that's nasty, you just did this? Why would she be doing something so filthy that you wouldn't be partake of? But look at what the mischief maker have made out of us. We're savages now, beloved. Look at us. Like monkeys. Then you get offended. You get the nerve to get offended when somebody say, man, look at the monkey. Maybe that's a different story for a different day. Umar talking about this beautiful queen from St. Louis. This sister who deserved better. She's sucking the Shango stick. I ain't hit it. She smelled like this, that, and the third. I just let her suck the Shango stick. Anybody that represents E5 should have came out and blasted dude. Anybody that represented E5 should have blasted dude as a, come on, you misrepresenting an Orisha. And you got some celebrities, man, they practice, it's a spook religion, but they practice Ifa, which is big in the islands, especially Cuba. It's Nigerian, the tribe of Yoruba. And then you got our people in America, Taraji Henson, she's Ifa. Gunplay, like many other Miami rap artists, he's Ifa. Young Thug, Ifa. Beyonce, Forrest Whitaker, Shaka Khan, Ayanna Vincent. They represent the Ifa spiritual system. And you are misrepresenting it, talking about the Shango stick. Shango ain't got no, this is the Orisha of lightning and thunder and fire and justice. How did you get caught up with, what is you got? What is the representation? What you got your, but it's some nigga shit that lets you know when somebody's not living right. They will pollute everything that they touch, their household, a school that they're a part of. They're going to pollute their own family, their children. They're going to fuck up everything. They're not living right. The only Orisha, since we're going to play the Orisha game, that I see in play is Isu. Because Isu, he definitely take you down the path, goddammit. Like Isu taking the nigga down the path, goddamn. But dig, though. But dig. Brother, we love you. We love you, Umar. We ain't gonna turn our back on your big titty ass. We love you, beloved. You know, if your personal life is not right, because you're being chastised publicly, like, that's crazy to me, beloved. You too talented for that. You too talented. You stand for your people. But if you're not tight with your own children, you got to start cleaning up some things in your personal life first. If you want your professional life to take off, because it's only one life, it's one life source, it's one energy. And this can't be cloudy and messy over here, and then you're running over there, because listen, this is why we say this, beloved. Marriage is our religion over here. You know, marriage is our religion. And we say that marriage can fix over 90% of our people's problems. Over 90%. That's part of our salvation. Then you have what? Separation, which is a big part of our salvation. Marriage and separation, it automatically leads to business. Because you're separated and you're married. It automatically just falls that way. If our brother Ifa Tunde was married, he wouldn't even be in the shape that he's in. He spent a lot of time, for what I hear, taking care of his mother. That's very honorable, because she's dealing with a severe illness, and we're hoping for the best for Elder Johnson, his mother, right? But if Umar had a wife, and then if he married his oldest daughter, mother, he wouldn't even have to worry about his mom, because his wife would take care, and then his oldest daughter, she'd do her part. Now he got a youngest daughter. He have 3 women underneath his household working on mom do. But see, this is what happened when you live the way you live. Salvation. Do you know what that means? It's a path that creates easiness in your life. That's what salvation is. It's a path that it creates easiness in your life. Marriage is our salvation. Now look at you. Look at the path that you're on. Look at the path you and Isu is on, because you playing spook god. You know, you was a Muslim, so you went from one spook god from the deep east, you know what I'm saying, to another spook god on the west coast of Africa. But it is what it is. Now look though. Look how marriage would have just completely gave you focus. You would have had that school. Now look, I'm gonna show you what playing spook god does now. See, in America, beloved, 9 out of 10 Negroes identify as a Christian. That's right and exact. I emphasize that all the time on this platform. So I'm gonna go one step further. I'm gonna add on to that. I'm pretty sure every household in the black community, if they don't have any book in that house, they got a Bible in there. Would you agree? I could go further and say America, but I'm just gonna say the black community. I don't care if they ain't got nothing in that crib. They ain't got no library, no book, no nothing, no bookshelf, no encyclopedias from back in the day, nothing. They got a Bible in there, right? Okay, so I'm finna show you how religious set tripping, how it works. You think those black mothers, Christian mothers, because they're gonna fall underneath that 9 out of 10 in Delaware, because we're gonna tie this in with what the cracker Benjamin Franklin said. He said, listen, Benjamin Franklin said, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. You know, those black mothers that's Christians, you think they're gonna send they school or they children, pardon me, to the school where they walking in and you got Oli Damade up there and you got a bunch of Rishas hanging in the front of the school? You think they better go for that? Oh, this is Ogun and this is Oshun and this this is Isu, and this is No, they not going for that. They gonna tell their son, come from out of here. No, the Christian mother, this is what they gonna say. Man, this is demons in here. They got them demons up in here. They got them idol guys everywhere. They got demons everywhere. That's what they gonna say, beloved. You didn't even plan for that. You know how people do that now. How many? Because you know, the Nation of Islam, they had their own schools. How many Christians do you think they went to schools that was ran by the nation? They don't do that. You know, they're saying, you know, little Nuck and Tank them, they'll send them on to the public school where the gangbangers at before they send them over there where the nation's at. Them demons and devils over there. It's religious set tripping. That's why when you come here, I keep it on the original man self, like, nah, we gonna just be the first man on the planet. We gonna be the most high man when we talking. We ain't gonna get into none of this religious set tripping stuff. Not over here. We gonna stay on 2 + 2 = 4. There's no new revelation. There's no debates. There's nobody that's gonna say he got the wrong translation. It really mean this. 2 + 2 = 4. That's knowledge. Period. 2 × 4 is 8. Period. Nobody is falling out over knowledge. The belief thing is something different. Come on, beloved, what are you talking about? The planning was never there. Okay, we get it. There's no school. We love our brother. We want to see you do well. But what we know, if your household is not cleaned up, because Umar is going to be put as an example for other brothers to see. See, there's a wind already that works in the media. They like to tear niggas down anyway. That wind gonna blow faster than... So if you know that wind is there, shit, you can't be one of the ones with your behavior fanning the wind so it can blow harder against you. You can't do that. You can't... Look, back in the day, your business, if you was popular and you was a celebrity, your business didn't get out to the public because they had to have a connection with somebody in one of those media companies, NBC, ABC, CNN. They had to really know somebody. If not there, they had them blogs from back in the day. I can't even remember that. I can see the paper. My big mama used to always read this shit. National Enquirer was one. You had to have like a tap in and one of them to get your word out. Now, anybody can grab their phone and just go live, tag you, and start telling their story. You got to live right and exact. Why would you be talking about on the live? We talking about Jermaine, aka Umar. Why would you be in the car talking about there's some fraudulent activity going on with your bank and this, that, and the third, and word is he made that live from Africa. How embarrassing is that? You made it from Africa. Ask some African niggas to give you the money. You over there with them, right? Why would you be rocking with somebody? See, that's why we don't play the Mobutu game neither. Why would you be rocking with somebody and you got to beg somebody from you went 6,000 miles away to hang out with these folks. You get in the jam, they can't get you out of the jam. You got to call and get on to reach back. But if you were married, if you had your own religion, why you ain't call on Ephi when you was over there? You ain't call on Allah the Mahdi to help you out when you got over there? No. You called the Negroes back from America to get you out the jam. That's why I don't play them spook guy religion games. Like, why you calling shit all the Mauritius? Just call you Orisha. Nigga ain't called no Orishas. He got on that phone, called some Negroes in America, say, I need you to help me out. Okay. Now, the thing about Black Americans, you get into a financial jam, oh, they'll help you out. You finna get a lecture. A nigga from America gotta help you out, boy. You finna listen. Any kind of financial assistance that's coming from Black people in America is attached with a 2-hour lecture. A 2-hour lecture comes with that. Now people want to know, where's the 15 years worth of money you have been raising? That's how the politicians get away with stealing from my people. Because they don't come back and ask the people for anything. They just take the cities, they just take the city taxes, they take the state taxes, they take the federal taxes, and they be quiet. They don't say anything else. You getting donations, you ask for more money, they're gonna say, wait a minute, what's been going on with the 15 years of donations? Because it ain't gonna cost that much to build a school in little ass Delaware. And in our estimate, and I say it again, I said it before, Umar can salvage this situation. The school shit is not gonna work. Brother, you're 50 years old. You're 50. Keep your black ass from going over there to Africa. Why you running over there twice a month? This should be a wake-up call, because you couldn't get nothing from Mobutu them. You had to beg us. So, okay, just keep your ass from going over there. Turn that school in Delaware to a boys and boys club. Not a boys and girls club, because you know, you say you want to do something for just the young men, and I'm with that. The young men, young brothers, young warriors, okay. A boys and boys club. Let them shoot basketball over there. And while they doing that, have a couple of the elders that are currently living with good information come in and speak to them. And then teach them about the ancestors that's no longer here, but just the information is still here. That's it. It's easy for us. We ain't got to reinvent the wheel. Just teach them about what the ancestors said is no longer here, that left good information. C.M. Bay, peace be upon him. Elijah Muhammad, peace be upon him. Malcolm. MLK. The greats. C. Freeman L. Let them sit down. Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. This is what just teach him. Marcus Garvey, just teach him. Give him the game. W.B. Du Bois. Well, he might not say WB, because WB used to be for Garvey, but you see what I'm saying, right? They left literature behind. Let's talk about the literature. Let's talk about it. Break it down. Show movies, show everything. Docs, movies, everything. Breakdown. Good books. Then have some speakers come in. Listen, you know how many people would love to pull up on Delaware if they can find it? They'll pull up on Delaware and goddamn love to come in and say, man, when spoke to the young man at Umar school, that's really not a school. It's like a boys and boys club, but you can get it off. You're in the money, bro. That's going to be easier for you to open a school. Come on, man. You know them crackers down at Delaware Department of Education not going to let that shit fly anyway. You know, like I know, they're not going to let that shit fly. And you'll never be able to get the money and the funding like you want, because you're not a Christian. I'm going to just keep it funky. You're not a Christian, bro. This is a Christian nation. This is a Christian nation. Ain't not going to change that. I don't care how many books you read, nigga. This is what it is. So unless you're going to play that kind of game, these people not going to give you their babies. They'll only give you their babies if you got like an after school program where you can teach the young man and you can kind of give him some game on the slide about other concepts. And then you can save this whole situation. But even that's not going to work unless your household is in order. And beloved, we're going to leave it there. We're praying for you, Umar. You our brother. If the crackers could be loyal to Trump, we could be loyal to our own brother. But it's going to be tough love. Just because it's love don't mean it's going to come easy. It's going to be tough love. But brother, we still love you. Because you never let us down in public. You got 6 degrees. You can be a house digger if you wanted to. You could, but you decided to stay with your people. And we got to appreciate you for that. So we got to ride with you for that. You still our brother. We're going to leave it there. Peace and black power to your family. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for hanging out. Beloved, this is indeed Real Black Content Phone Podcast. Hey man, it's your brother V, man. I'm getting with you guys later. Peace, people, love, and more peace.
That's one of the biggest reasons for LGBTQ. That's one of the biggest reasons for LGBTQ. And I'm not against no homosexual or no lesbian. I love all African people, but I reserve the right to disagree with any lifestyle that threatens the survival of the traditional African family. LGBTQ is the new birth control pill. Why do I say that? 2 men cannot reproduce, 2 women cannot reproduce, and now they're even transgenderizing our children. Do you know what that means? They're manipulating and indoctrinating African children to undergo sexual surgery so they'll never be able to reproduce again. When Dwayne Wade, whose son is now legally had his birth certificate changed, he's legally a girl.
Yeah.
Hormone therapy. When he gets 30 years old and looks in the mirror and says, you know what? I don't like living like this no more. I want to go back to being what God made me, a man. I want to get a wife and I want to have children. We only got one problem, don't we? Your reproductive is gone. We got another problem. Your testosteronic levels are gone. Your ability to produce healthy seed is gone. There is no going back. We are not looking at this LGBTQ thing the way we should be looking at it. It is birth control and racial extermination. Why you think Kamala Harris is traveling throughout Africa, trying to convince African countries to legalize gay marriage? Why does America care how Africa chooses to run its society?
Thanks for listening. Remember to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Google, Anchor, Spotify, and Facebook. Also, don't forget to like, share, and comment on the podcast. Your opinion of what you just heard is important to the platform. So yes, beloved, your comments are the engine and fuel to the machine. Stay blessed and have a powerful day.